Okay, so there are some important or certain characteristics or features of your total fixed cost and total variable cost, that how they behave in the short run. As far as your total fixed cost is concerned, we all know there is a handful of fixed factors that the producer uses in the course of production in the short run. So your total fixed cost will always remain constant and positive in the short run. The total fixed cost will not change. Whether the output increases or decreases, it will remain constant because your fixed factors remain constant. If your factors are constant, then the cost incurred on those factors will also remain constant. So first thing is that your total fixed cost in the short run always remains constant and positive. Why I am saying that it always remains positive? For instance, any producer is producing nothing. For example, I take an example of a shop, okay, that has been closed for a month, okay. But if that is a rented shop, the shopkeeper has to pay the rent, he has to pay the electricity bill, okay, he has to pay for example, the tax that has been imposed on him, okay, he has to pay that. He cannot avoid paying those fixed costs in the short run. That is why it is known as unavoidable cost. So always it will remain positive whether the producer produces something or not, irrespective of the output. That is why it is said that total fixed cost is independent of output. That means it doesn't depend upon the output. If the output is 0, then the total fixed cost will also remain same, and if the output increases and reaches to any height, it will remain same, constant and positive in the short run. Okay, that is what I have written over here. Because in the short run, the fixed factors cannot be thrown out. The producer has to use those only fixed factors. The time is not that much that he can purchase or arrange new factors. Alright, then coming on to total variable cost, it is dependent upon output. If the producer is producing nothing, then your total variable cost will also remain 0. That means at 0 level of output, your total variable cost will also remain 0. Okay. Variable cost, you can say if the shop is closed, then no labor will come. Okay. Then he has to incur 0 variable cost. For example, but there is a permanent watchman on that shop. Okay. If the staff is permanent, then it becomes a fixed cost. But if the staff is casual, then it becomes the variable cost. Okay. So if the shop is closed, total variable cost will also remain 0. Okay. And it increases with the level of output, because if the producer has to increase his output in the short run, he has, for example, a garment producer, a shirt producer, he has to increase the output in the short run. So he has to purchase more of cloth, more of buttons, more of thread. Okay, so it increases in the short run as well. As far as the total cost is concerned, as I have told you that your total cost is nothing but equals to your total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Alright. So, and your total fixed cost is constant. I have put a bar over it to show that it is constant. If it is 120, if it is equals to 120 rupees, then it will remain 120 whether the output is anything, irrespective of the output. Alright. So, whatever change happens in your TVC, okay, whatever change happens in the TVC, it will directly affect the change in the total cost, because your total fixed cost is constant. That means in the short run, your change in total variable cost is equals to change in TC, because your TFC is, because your total fixed cost is constant. Okay, it remains constant. ये हमेशा 120 रहेगा, चाहे 6th आउटपुट प्रोड्यूस करे, 7th आउटपुट, 9th आउटपुट, और सिर्फ टीवीसी बढ़ता रहेगा, चेंज होता रहेगा. तो जो भी इफेक्ट टीसी पे होगा, टोटल कॉस्ट पे होगा, वो टीवीसी के बराबर ही तो होगा, बिकॉज योर टोटल फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट इज कांस्टेंट. This you will understand when